Get more now on the apparent assassination attempt on former US President Donald Trump at his Florida golf course. Don Watson is an award-winning author who's recently turned his attentions to the upcoming US election. He's penned a quarterly essay called High Noon: Trump, Harris and America on the Brink. He joins me now from Melbourne. Good morning, Don. Thanks for your time.
Hello.
In your quarterly essay, you share observations about the upcoming US election like no other. Just how astonishing are today's developments with respect to this alleged second assassination attempt on Donald Trump?
Well, not so astonishing anymore. I mean, you never know what's going to come out of the United States, and this is just another one. I mean, it's, you know, only 6 weeks ago there had been no shot in the air. Biden was the candidate for the Democrats. Oh, the world was completely different then, but it's changed now, and who knows? I mean, I do notice that Kamala Harris said there is no place for violence in America. That's her standard response. Well, of course, that's a nonsense. Violence plays a very important part in America. It's central to America. You know, this is the country where schools conduct daily or weekly rituals of preparation for mass shootings. It is a heavily armed country. And if you give people guns, they're bound to use them. This is the country where the Supreme Court recently said that bump stocks, it was perfectly legal to sell bump stocks, which turn rifles into machine guns.
I want to talk to you about political violence and the culture of that in just a moment. But if I can ask you about Donald Trump's response here. There was an email that he sent out to his supporters saying there were gunshots in my vicinity, but before rumours start spiralling out of control, I want you to hear this first. And in capital letters, I am safe and well. Nothing will slow me down. I will never surrender. How do you think that the Republicans will frame this incident now into their campaign?
Same as ever. It's always about Donald. You know, Donald is the avatar of American grievance. So he doesn't speak for the people who are aggrieved. He is the, you know, he is the idol around which they dance. So this, I think, probably helps the Republicans, but there's so little room for manoeuvre. You know, there's only a couple of points up or down that the election can go. And I think this goes on making it about him. Not that I'm suggesting for a moment that it was organised that way, but it won't hurt Trump. Although I don't know. I mean, why are these characters always on golf courses? I don't know.
Well, going to the point of the political culture and violence there, what does it say about the state of political culture in America? As we've discussed, this is just 2 months after that first assassination attempt. I know in your quarterly essay you observe Americans from their diversity and conflict, reality and unreality. Yeah,
well, they live in a sort of unreal world. I mean, I think this is the case. I mean, you travel in America, and what you find all the time is sort of this great normality, but simmering underneath it are these great divisions in American society, which in a sense have always been there, but they've been held together in the past by frontiers. You know, most recently the tech frontier, but that's turned out to be really boring and alienating, and there's sort of broken old associations that held the place together. But the place is really held together by things that are not really tangible anymore, and so it's open to Trump's playing on xenophobia, on grievance, on anything that makes you angry. And this is worth bearing in mind too, that Trump loves violence. He is a violent man. You know, he got his stripes with wrestling, and he turned politics into a version of TV wrestling where nothing is true. So you create that kind of, where he becomes the sort of Hulk Hogan of politics. And you can't really argue with that. This is what has driven the Democrats mad over the years.
So then, Don, how do you reflect on the impact, if any, on Australian politics here, given this recent incident, given America is such a powerful and important democracy?
Well, it does. It surely gives us pause, you know, that if this man, who at the moment, were the election held tomorrow, would likely win it, and it's hard to see that that's going to change significantly between now and November, but the man is unstable. He sees the world as entirely about him. So his attitude to Ukraine, for instance, is he won't say that he wants Ukraine to win because he has a personal grievance against Ukraine when he tried to do a deal between Javelin missiles and his own personal grievance about 2016 and what he believes was Ukraine's involvement in the DNC. So I don't know how you have an alliance with such a person. You go on pretending that, I suppose, that it'll all be fine because you have very little choice.
I mean, his supporters, Don, would say that he will return the economy to what it was. He'll bring down crime rates with his immigration policy, etc. He's still, as you said just now, if the election was to be held tomorrow, he may very well win those swing states over. So, do you think then the Democrats have what it takes?
I think the Democrats are in. The trouble for the Democrats is that they look like the party of no change. And whatever else, the one thing you can be certain about in America is that people want, in some way, they want change. And it's hard for the Democrats, as the incumbent party, to say that they're the party of change. They sort of lost that opportunity a long while ago, back in 2016, or even earlier with Obama, to be the party of significant change. And I think now that if Trump says, I mean, this is the key fact, I suppose, is that somewhere between 2/3 and 3/4 of Americans believe the country is going in the wrong direction. That makes it easy for Trump and hard for Democrats.
Don Watson, it's been wonderful to get your analysis and insight. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Cheers.